Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday. Monday's mindset, my friends. How are you doing today? How is your Monday doing? How is everything going? Have we everything in place? We should have done that from last week. How is it going? Because sometimes we have to make some tough decisions for either ourselves or for the team of people that we lead. And sometimes it can get a little mushy, right? Sometimes it can really wear every down on us, but we have to do it anyway, right? So we're going to talk today a little bit about how sometimes when we have to make the tough decisions, what can we do to help us out? Especially when we're leading and we have a team of people behind us, we need to really make some tough decisions. Oh, what's going on here? So today, if you're going to be joining me live, let me know where you're joining from. I did put a post out today, if you're going to be joining me live, to bring the drink because I do have the sandwich today, right? So if you're joining me live, let me know where you're joining from. And if you're going to be watching the replay, also let me know where you're joining from because as a leader, we always have to make some tough decisions for ourselves and especially for our team, the team that we lead. And we have all of us are individuals, and we have to make some really firm and tough decisions sometimes in our business. So we're going to talk about that today, a little bit about that, and I'm going to share with you one way how we can ease the tension and handle that in a way that um, the methodology that is being used, the model that is being followed. So, all right, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Yvette Guerrero, and I come to you live in this community every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mondays are Monday's mindset. Want to set the stage for the rest of the week. We got to get the mind right and have everything in place. Mm. Oh, the pollen is killing me. Everything in place so that we can proceed and just go about our business in a more efficient way. So, as a leader, how do you um, get around making these tough decisions? Because here we are leaders and we do our business online. We leverage social media, of course, with the tools and the strategies and the tips and so on and so forth. But we are humans. It is always said to be a human before you're a marketer. We are human beings. And so we want to make sure that we remember that. So, as human beings, we are touched with all the senses, right? All the sense of sight, and especially the emotions. And so, sometimes when we want, when we're needing to make the tough decisions, there's a lot of things that impact us. However, we do have to do that, and so it takes a lot of fortitude, knowledge and understanding, and to get clarity for a situation or for a circumstance, so we don't make rash decisions. We don't jump to conclusions. We don't jump to, you know, write off anybody, put them aside. We don't jump to criticize. We need to be very, very sober, excuse me, in our thinking and act in a way where we gather all the facts, we look at what is in front of us, and we make the decision based upon the information. A lot of times we need to make tough decisions, and we don't make them based upon information. We don't make them based upon feedback. We don't make them based upon knowledge. We don't. I'm here today to encourage you guys within this community, and even the people that you lead, even for yourself, even if you're a sole proprietor, you just solo in your business. Yeah, when if you're gonna make decision, because I'm telling you, we make some rash decision, which like boom, and we don't have nothing to back it up, nothing foundational, nothing to brace it. We just go out on the fly. We just made them, and then if when they fall over now, who are we gonna blame? So as leaders in our businesses, We need to make sure that when we make decisions, we are making them based upon one, knowledge of understanding exactly what we're supposed to be making the decision on. So we check the matter out. We do our research, right? Number two, collect all the information from people, places, things, whatever the resources that are available, right? And number four, do your homework. Sit down and look at the information. Don't just call it the information and put it down. You sit down and you give it some thought. See how they line up with whatever you're trying to do. So you have certain goals in mind. Okay, the information that I'm collecting is to support those goals. So now I have to sit down, or I need to sit down and and um and look to see the information that I've collected. How does that line up with what I'm trying to do? So when you make your decision, it holds, and so if even more information might come, but you have already made the decision based upon the information you have. Now later on down the road, when you want to do an assessment, or in evaluation, then you can incorporate the new decision, the new information. So many times, my friends, I've seen in my little short little lifetime, we made decision and new information come, and we like, boom, we've revert over there to put the new information into the old decision. You got to make some adjustments. You got to look and see where will it fit in. And so if you need to um um like throw that out and start all over again, yeah, but halfway down the road is when you interject with that new piece of information all the way up in the middle of this thing that wasn't going on without it. Now you create a more problem for yourself. So even with the old information, even with the information that you have already acted on, and you have made a plan, and you have aligned that with your goals, and you have done all your homework, and now you're moving ahead full steam. Now some new information is out, which is impactful to what you're doing. You will now have to revisit that. How are you going to work it in? Don't just take it, oh yeah, it will fit right here, someone just drop it in. No, you've got to sit down, because you need a seamless operation, my friend. So now you've got to sit down and work that in, whether you're going to work it in your daily method of operation, however you're going to work it in, you now have to work it in, or if it is able to wait. Because sometimes not everything is needed right away. Some things can wait a minute, and then now you'll have time. But my thing here today is to say to us and to encourage us. And we make big business decisions. We make big business decisions. We make bigger ones if we have to lead a team. Can you imagine you're just making all the decisions and your team is just be like, oh, what's she saying over there? What's she doing over there? Let me see. Without the alignment. Because if you're going to lead, then we have to have followers, right? We need to have people following us, because who are you leading? If you're by yourself, yeah. So even if you're by yourself, doing your business by yourself, we have got to do this thing in a way that we can line it up to get the results we need. Not go willy-nilly, oh, it's just for me. I can do what I want to do. But how you want results, right? Yeah, we want results. So guess what? Gotta set it up right, because using the same blueprint, in the same models that even if you had a team you'd use, it doesn't matter. You would have to make sure that this thing is steady, right? This thing is gonna work, and you're gonna work it by yourself, like you had a million persons with you, right? Yeah. So one of the things that I find out, that as a leader, you have be able to lead yourself first. So leading yourself doesn't mean you need, you gotta put a string in front of you and tie it onto the doorknob and pull it. No, but you have got to have the direction and the motivation and skills underneath your belt to even move yourself forward. What if one day you wake up and you're really not in a good mood and you don't feel like, doing this thing? As a leader, you've got to find a way how to get up. You've got to find a way how to make the adjustment. You've got to find a way how to motivate yourself. You've got to find a way how to get the work done because it's just you, right? So what do you do in that in that way? If you're a sole proprietor or just an entrepreneur, just in your own business, a home-based business owner, a direct salesperson, where you have to work and make the commission, whatever, all of us, we operate businesses. If you're hearing me today, we operate businesses. And as a solo, yeah, I do my business by myself. Many days I get up and I'm like, oh my goodness, and my body don't feel like it. My mind maybe don't feel some days, but I've got to do it anyway. So I've got to find a way to motivate myself. I've got to find a way, when I look at my end result, yeah. So the big decisions that we have to make sometimes is to even get up and move over and get it done, even if we don't feel like. That's a big decision sometimes, because you might not be feeling well, because we're human. Huh? You might not be feeling it, but you got work to do. And that's why, when I hear the word systems and automation, like it just lights me up, because that helps me to take off some of the workload off me. Systems and operation, because on a given day when I set it up, if I don't really feel like 100%, my body may be having a little pain here and there, or maybe I'm feeling sick. When the pollen gets blowing and it gets in my nostril and in my eyes, and it can really create havoc for me. And maybe on that day my eyes are just running, or I'm just sneezing, or my throat is just itchy, right? And my nose is just, yeah, the allergies they call it. And maybe on a given day, but then I have something set up. Systems and automation can function maybe a few hours without me, maybe a day, maybe a week when I set it up. I love that. And so that's one strategy that we talk about here in our social media marketing, that systems and automation can really create the kind of freedom that, people talk about: time freedom, personal freedom, and financial freedom. Yep, it can do all that because it creates that freedom. It creates you don't have to be there every minute of the day. Yes, you do make money, and of course you have your personal freedom, where you can go and do your appointments, or be with the grandkids, or check out some things, walk the parking lot if you want to buy the new car, all that good stuff. System and automation. Big decisions that we have to make, whether we are in business by ourselves or we're leading a team. Now, so if we're leading a team as a leader and there's a conflict, so sometimes you got to reshuffle things around. You want to just speak about some things, entire team or maybe individuals, but you got to be tactful. So one model that people are always talking about is called the Amberger model, or the sandwich model. Yeah, that's why I told you bring your drinks, because I do have the sandwich. They talk about that sandwich model, which it's a way how you kind of give feedback. So I might be having my partner here with me over here, my partner, and I give my partner or one of my team members some things to do, or they're working on their own. But I want to give feedback. It doesn't matter whether they're on their own, by themselves. I want to give feedback to the entire team or just to a few persons, depending on what my observations are, depends on what I've analyzed in what they're doing, depending on what's going on. But I want to give feedback. They talk about the hamburger model, and I'm gonna look down a little bit because I don't want to mess it up. The sandwich model, and I pretty much, I think we do this all the time, but this is just a model that supports what we're doing and making sure that we're doing it the right way, because all of us get we get feedback all the time, whether from our mentors, whether from our teachers, whether from our leaders, our coach, our partners, people, anyone. We get feedback all the time, but guess what? A lot of us don't like feedback. Big decisions you have to make in your business. Are you going to embrace feedback? Just like people talk about failure, are you going to embrace feedback when people give you feedback? Or are you going to embrace criticism? Because guess what? We are humans. None of us are perfect. But these things have a place. Feedback does have a place. Criticisms do have a place, right? Whether it's constructive. Yeah, nobody likes destructive criticism, but I put destructive criticism as a hallmark to say, well, let's kind of check into what they're talking about here. They say I'm doing such a bad job. They say I really suck at this thing. But let me see what exactly you're talking about, because maybe when after a little introspection, maybe I'm looking at this and they say I really suck at this one particular, might give me an opportunity to turn it around. So, not purporting destructive criticism, because sometimes it really does some damage and it is irreparable, right? Or it takes a long time to be repaired. But it can give you an indication, maybe what the person is thinking, maybe what's going on that you're really not aware of, But so should um, it should give you that nudge to say, let me take a look at what they're saying that is so bad about what I'm doing. Big business decisions, because you want to make sure, if it's by yourself, you want to make sure things are working and everybody's winning, the consumer, the customer, the client, or your team member, and yourself. And it's the same way for everyone. So they talk about this hamburger menu, this hamburger model, or the sandwich feedback, that gives you an opportunity to kind of course correct it, huh? To kind of course correct a person or a group of people in a really pretty decent way, I call it. So, if you look at the hamburger, you have two pieces of bread, right? And then in the middle, you have the hamburger patty. I don't have that to show you now, but you know, two pieces of bread, and in the middle you have the hamburger patty, right? That's the part, the meat. That's the meat. The two slices of bread, the hamburger roller covers it down, and then that's your hamburger. Now they're saying that this model, it highlights accomplishments. They say that this model is a tool that businesses use to, or leaders use to highlight accomplishment. But how do they do that? When you have two sides of the bread and the meat in the middle, exactly what's your purpose of accomplishment? Is it the entire hamburger or is it the parts? All right. So it highlights accomplishment, but it does something else. It allows you to highlights the areas for improvement as well. Okay, but it's how you do it. It is a how. Because you could say, okay, we have a hamburger here. The part in the ends are just the parts you suck at, right? And the middle is the part that is good. So can you imagine those bad or worst areas on the two ends, and you just have the one little the one little good part in the middle, and man, you are like, now you're like surrounded by all of that. But let's do it the opposite way, right? The ends. Yeah. And how you do that now. So first of all, they say number one, you need to start off. So you're trying to course correct something. You're trying to make some adjustment, have your team do something kind of different based upon your evaluation. You want to give them feedback. You want to talk a little bit about what's going on. All of us do surveys. We buy things online. We talk to people, send us a survey, or we pick up the telephone and we call and say, would you mind doing a 1-minute survey at the end of the call? Yeah, all of those things are called mechanisms to give feedback. They want to know if the person provided good customer service, that you're satisfied with the product, and if there's any improvement, and all of that. All of those things are for feedback from you in different kinds of way. So now here's one model that is used to provide feedback to even yourself, to your team, or to think about how you would provide feedback if somebody asks you, because you have to be very tactful. You have to be very tactful, or you need to be very tactful, because everything is not all good and everything is not all bad. So you want to balance the equation. I always talk about balancing the equation. Make it balanced. Give it a balanced approach. Okay. So this model, it says here, number one, you want to start off with something positive. So that will be first slice of the bread. So I don't have bread here, but say this is the first slice of the bread. So you start off with the feedback, something positive. So, say for example, you are working with your teammates, and you did overheard them saying something to someone that is really not lining up with the with your goals and with the procedures and the policies, and you want to course correct that. You want to make sure that the person doesn't do that again, because that is really affecting the business, right? So you might want to maybe take the person a one-on-one, and you want to present something positive. Something positive could be like, you have got the highest ratings in reference to customer service since we've been in business, and people have spoken so well about you, or you name it, right? You have so sales, so percentage of your sales are just going through the roof. You have been doing so well. Your products have been just, yeah. And or you have been presenting this opportunity, and people are talking about you, but there's this one little thing you don't want it to grow. So there's this one little thing now that you really saw that was really not in line. So you gave the person all that positive. You let them feel good about themselves, feel good about what they've been doing, feel good about how their accomplishments, feel good about, things that maybe they have done made a lot of improvement. So you want to give that positive feedback, and that make them feel good. Now then you want to talk about that's in the middle. So there's a slice of bread, right? And so here's a hamburger. You want to talk about now the things that aren't so nice, the things that need some adjustments, the things that need some improvement, the things that they could do some more work on. And you want to talk about it in a way that, because you have already give them this 80% or 95%. Now you're touching down now in the 30% region and below, because you want them to bring that up. So you talk about that. That's number two. So you point out these areas of weaknesses, or I don't even call it weaknesses, of not so great accomplishments, or areas that they can improve in. So based upon what you have seen, or based upon maybe feedback from other entities or members, or something is not shuffling right, you want to speak to that. So you speak to that. Okay. Then the other slice of the bread. Okay. So here's the hamburger. The other slice of the bread now is positive. All right, Mary, you know, regardless of what's happening in the middle, yep, you're gonna do those, improve those areas. But I'm telling you, girl, you've been knocking this thing out of the park. Your sales are just going through the roof. And you just so you finish it up. So the person, it doesn't feel like doom and gloom, right? You raise the roof in the beginning, then you take care of the little nuances in the middle, and you lift up the foundation when you're done. So Mary leaves there, and I don't know if there's a Mary online. Mary leaves there with great expectations for the few things that, yeah, Mary is now, because now she's booming in sales, she's booming in building her team. Customers like her. Mary just know how to do the business. Just this couple little hiccups right there in the middle. Mary's good. Now Mary can fix those course, adjust and course, just recover that. Mary's good because now you give Mary and you back her up. She's left there, out of there, with knowing that she got a few things to take care of. But for the most part, Mary feels good. Mary is uplifted, and there is no doom and gloom. I hope you get that. Today's Monday's mindset. And businesses we have to make tough decisions, even for ourselves, even for me. I sit back sometimes and I say to myself, okay, well, I've been doing this. Let me check upon myself. Or I'll ask my accountability partner to kind of give me some feedback, because there's some times that I drop the ball. Maybe, and some things that I should be carrying this ball, you know? And sometimes I'll be like, oops, yep, that's true. Yeah. So I'm going to do some course correction. I'm going to make some adjustments because we are human. We are human. So we embrace the feedback. But when we give it, or whoever is giving it, we need to be very tactful how we give the feedback, because then you want everybody to win. You want to win, they want to win, so you create a win-win situation. And this hamburger model or the sandwich model helps to create that balance. Now, another way of doing this hamburger model is to give some praise. Whatever you're doing, give some praise, man. In the beginning, give some praise. Give some praise, give some praise, and then you take care of the little nuances in the middle, with the areas for improvement. And at the end, give some praise again. Build up your people, build up your team members, build them up, give them the support they need. Build up yourself. Build up yourself. Look at your wins, celebrate yourself, build up yourself, and be conscious of the fact that, yeah, you're succeeding, you're growing, you're learning, you're growing. And so you want to embrace those and practice the hamburger model on your team members, even on yourself. The feedback, sandwich feedback, or the hamburger model. I hope you learned something today, because later on tonight at 7:30, I will be interviewing Helen Martin on my page here. Yeah, and I'm using StreamYard. So look out for that interview, because that's going to be a very exciting interview with the none other than the Helen Martin of the crew captain, the online coaching crew. She's a captain of that ship, right? I want to talk to her a little bit about her business, about how she, does business, about a little bit about her journey. So I don't want you to miss that interview. That's going to be my special guest tonight at 7:30, or this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, or this morning, wherever you are, at 7:30 p.m. So work that out in your time zone and join me here. And you see that I go live. Make sure you turn your notification on and join me as I talk with Helen Martin, and learn a little bit more about our entrepreneurial journey. I'm going to share that with you as well. Continue to follow me here at Yvette Garel Online, where I give tips all the time. And today was Monday's Mindset. And we talk about Monday's Mindset. I want to set the stage for the rest of the week. And we talked about we have to make tough decisions as business owners, as leaders, if we are having a team, or even for ourselves. So we need to be very careful, be very tactful, because sometimes even for ourselves, we can just preach doom and gloom over our own self. Got to get out of that mind frame or mindset and get the tools that you need to elevate yourself, to uplift yourself, even on the days when things are not going well. That's what you think, that things might not be going well, but it might just be going well. You never know. But, lift yourself up and continue to make sure you turn the notification on. There's always that free 10-day training that's offered. Anytime you feel like you need a little booster, something to lift you up, those 10 days training from the attraction marketing formula are great resources. Go ahead, grab your free 10-day training, and there's an ebook that you can purchase for a minimal cost if you so desire as well. All right, well, I will see you to later on today or early in the morning, wherever you are on this big blue marble, as I talk to Helen, and we're going to talk about business and a little bit about her journey. But today was Monday's Mindset, my friend. You have to make the tough decision and all. If we run business, we got to make decisions. But remember, if you're leading your team and even your own self, because you lead and follow. Yeah, the hamburger model, the sandwich feedback model. You lift up the person, talk about, praise the person or praise the entity, praise them, give them talk about the accomplishments, then talk about the what can be improved, and then talk about some more accomplishments. So praise, improvements, and praise. Okay, and I will see you on Wednesday. We're going to continue with more social media tips for home-based business owners, entrepreneurs, network marketers, and the likes. And I will talk to you then. Continue to be good to yourself, and I'll see you soon, okay? Yep. All righty.